Hey, so I just seen this article on the internet here by Ford Authority, and I thought I would share because it's pretty interesting. At least I thought so. So on this, in this article here, it goes on to say that the current Ford Ranger used in so it's FIA class Ford Ranger for racing may get the Raptors 3.5 EcoBoost. So apparently right now, let me see if I can find the part in the article. So it says the current FIA class Ford Ranger utilizes a 5-liter V8 derived from the Mustang. So, well, while we still would definitely appreciate that in the consumer version of the Ranger, the big news is that the upgrade to the 3.5 liter. So because the 3.5 liter is a smaller engine, they were able to mount it further back over, so it says behind the front axle rather than in front of it. So it definitely makes it better for weight distribution. More of the weight is in the center of the vehicle rather than the front. And well, of course that's good, right? So that's pretty neat there. Let's see. It says by moving the engine back, we achieve far better weight distribution, which dramatically improved the balance and handling of the vehicle, particularly over rough terrain and jumps. Great. It says the quote, the compact dimensions of the V6 engine has enabled us to optimize the layout even further than we would have been possible with the larger V8. And it's also lighter, which helps us reduce the overall weight of the vehicle by 330 pounds. That's actually the more bigger statement out of all that. I mean, yes, okay, you can mount the engine backwards, but the fact that the EcoBoost 3.5 EcoBoost weighs 330 pounds lighter than the Coyote V8, that's actually pretty big. I would not have guessed the weight difference was that much, considering yes, it's a smaller engine. You're missing cylinders in each bank, or a cylinder in each bank rather. But the fact that you still got the turbos, you got a lot of other stuff that makes that engine work. So that's pretty significant. The fact that it's 330 pounds lighter than the outgoing 5-liter that they're currently using. I find that pretty extraordinary. As much as I love the Coyote and V8s, that kind of says a lot why Ford keeps pushing this 3.5 EcoBoost. That's hard numbers to argue with. So let's see here. Apparently didn't give the actual specs of the engine's power that they're using for this Ranger. But it says significant increases of torque on the outgoing naturally aspirated V8. Well, of course, that would be the case. And let's see here. After 8 months of development, the clean sheet design of the FIA class Ford Ranger is in the process of being built at the NWM team's workshop in Peter. Oh God, I'm gonna butcher this like there ain't no tomorrow. I would imagine Peter Maritzburg. You know what? I'll leave that up to someone who can actually say it. I'm not going to try it. I've already just screwed that up about 100 times, and I'm not going to continue to do it anymore. Although the build is currently on hold due to the nationwide pandemic going on, of course, you can bet that once things get cooking again, this new racer will be a worthy successor to the V8 Powder Rangers that won back-to-back SACCS Class T titles in 2018 and 19. So that's pretty cool. What I'd really wish Ford would bring to the market a Ranger with a V8, or, I mean, most people were like, yeah, put the 2.7 in or something. good Lord. And I mean, not even just the 3.5 that you would get in the normal trucks. It was like 375 Ford. I mean, they're talking about the Ford Ranger 3.5, all 450 horsepower of it. You know, that a freaking pretty much a Ford GT engine and a Ford Ranger would be ridiculous to think about. I mean, that would be something that I can't even get my mind around that. And, you know, of course, something like that, they would never make. They would never bring that to the public for consumer use. I mean, the fact that, first of all, the crap part about the whole design is if they were to produce something like that, they would likely produce it similarly how they made the race vehicle in terms of moving the engine further back. I mean, the engine's mounted over or behind the front axle. So basically, any type of maintenance would be a nightmare on that. I mean, pretty much probably to do most things, you would be better off just dropping the whole subframe out of it. That would be probably the way to do it, the way they would make it. Unless there are actual ways that you can go ahead and do maintenance. You'd probably still have to do it from underneath the vehicle rather than through the hood in terms of changing the spark plugs and what have you. Actually, you know what? That would not be possible. That was stupid for me to say. But the fact that it would still be a nightmare to do maintenance on and change. However, would it be cool? Oh yeah, it'd be cool as all hell. I mean, that would be... Well, first and foremost, I would just be ecstatic if they just freaking came out with anything other than the 2.3 that's in it. You know, I think sales numbers have been good enough to justify something like that. I'm surprised that they, you know, with the market the way it's going and no one really offering at least Ford not offering any type of vehicle for performance use, you know, any cars or anything. You know, you got these performance variants of all their cars. You got the ST stuff and the Edge and the Explorer, and of course you can get the higher end EcoBoost and the pickup trucks and whatnot. The Raptor, you know, that's great and all, but the thing is, what happens when you want something that isn't that, and Ford doesn't make it? You go and spend your money elsewhere for someone who does make it. And right now, like brands like Hyundai and Kia, you know, they're bringing to the market what a lot of other companies pulled out, especially domestics. You know, it's funny that the cater to our market, they basically shut out a whole portion of the market, albeit a small portion, but they did. So what's happening with the other companies? Well, they're filling that portion of people that are no longer receiving the vehicles from domestic manufacturers. You know, I find it very disappointing that Ford's no longer producing, you know, cars like the Focus and all that. I thought the Focus ST and RS were, you know, awesome. I think they're incredible vehicles, great value. You know, now basically the new Focus ST is the Veloster N. You know, that's what we have. That's basically the closest thing you get to a Focus ST. If you want to buy something new, that is. So the fact that Ford doesn't offer, you know, it's a crappy fact that they don't offer something more aggressive type performance vehicles for the market, considering that they're only producing SUVs, trucks, minus the Mustang, right? So that's the only car we get, which is great. I'm glad we still get the Mustang. But it doesn't change the fact that we don't get a 450 horsepower, you know, Raptor powered Ranger, you know, Ranger Raptor with the Raptor's engine. Who would have thought, right? I mean, that would be next level. That would be mind blowing just to see that. That would be cool, you know, and they would sell. I mean, look how well just a regular Raptor has sold. I mean, just imagine if you can get Raptor perform. I mean, they probably wouldn't give it. They'd probably detune it, right? They'd probably detune it. But I mean, that you get Raptor performance, and that's the keyword, performance. See, what you don't understand is a tuned Ranger right now with the 2.3 is faster than a Raptor. So it doesn't matter that it would compete against a Raptor. It's more or less, do you want small or large, right? So you get Raptor performance in a smaller truck, which not only would be beneficial for people who live in maybe more areas where they can't fit a Raptor because it's so big, but that perhaps, you know, it'd just be a cheaper vehicle overall, which would appeal a lot more to buyers that want something like that, but they don't want to spend the price tag that a Raptor comes with. So yeah, I just thought this was a really cool article about what they're doing with this truck. You know, it kind of just popped up on my feed here, and I wanted to share that this is what Ford doing. Kind of just go over, rant about why Ford doesn't make this for the public, because this would be the coolest freaking thing ever. So that's it for now. I'm going to do more things on a nice rainy day that you normally would do, which is probably nothing. And I will talk to whoever is watching this another time. See ya.